People have speculated that it's a like reverse dead man switch kind of thing, where if the signal were to go away, then oh no.
What is that?
Wait, CQ?
CQ test.
It is a 24-hour-a-day frequency for transmissions of people in distress.
This is suddenly getting very real now.
I'm gonna give you a frequency, and I have a buddy who's on a mountain right now.
Oh my God! This episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by strawberry.me/rogue. Josh Nass, ham radio crash course. One of the most magical experiences I've ever had was the first time I discovered, and I didn't even know it was called an SDR,
software-defined radio.
Yes, it's basically a radio with a good antenna setup that allows you to tour around the shortwave spectrum, and I immediately forwarded shortwave.themodernrogue.com to it. I ain't never changed it, but this is what I saw. The moment you saw this, you said this is old and busted.
It's just that there's newer tools on the web available, and just so everybody kind of brief synopsis of what an SDR is. It's taking the analog radio that you're picking up, and it's doing a digital conversion. That's what the hardware of an SDR does, and there's a picture of
there we go.
Literally that guy right there. So the SDR takes in an antenna, like an analog antenna, much like we set up. You could do the same thing with the crystal radio, just a long piece of wire.
Yeah.
And then it converts it from an analog signal into digital. So just like we did with compact discs, zeros and ones, right? We need to get that into a computer, and then the computer is actually doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Now, it can handle a couple of users at one time.
So there is a limit then?
Usually it's set by whatever the power of the server is. So if you have a Raspberry Pi, you're not going to have nearly as much performance as a better computer.
One of my favorite things about shortwave is that sense that you're traveling all over the world. And to be honest, it's all just too overwhelming. You hear everything from snippets of what sounds like computer modem talk to voices that are modulated. They all sound like they're either Daleks or from THX 1138 or something.
Yeah.
Help a baby Brian to understand what is the tool I should be using and that I should point shortwave.themodernrogue.com to.
Sure. So right now you're on what's called a web SDR. I prefer KiwiSDR. It gives you more tools, but I feel it's a little bit easier to operate with. It's really nice to see a map of where these stations are, because listening to shortwave is going to depend on the time of day where the actual server is. Our atmosphere is layered, and when the sun is set, those lower sections of the atmosphere are less energized. So that allows for the lower frequencies to hit those upper layers and refract better. When it's nighttime, wherever your station is, you'll actually get better propagation for some of these shortwave signals. So these little icons are all SDRs around the world. So if you want to hear local radio for those countries, you just click on that one and boom, there you are. There's your kind of geographic travel.
Right now as we're recording, like West Coast Los Angeles is now in darkness.
That's actually a really good one. Half Moon Bay is really good.
Okay. Oh, your name or call sign? Do I need to have a thing?
You can use your name. It's for the logs. It's not really related to anything. But
this is much better.
Yeah, so this starts at 0 kilohertz and it goes all the way up to 30 megahertz.
And 30 megahertz is the upper end?
That is the upper side of shortwave. This is the entire shortwave band. What you're hearing is actually WWV, which is the time source out of Colorado.
This is the atomic clock that we're hearing. This is the heartbeat. All of our cell phones are, if not this one, then one of the other ones like it. But this is, you can rely on this to be the actual time.
Right, and this is the California station that we're logged into, listening to the station in Colorado. And it breaks for a little bit for some human information, and then it goes back to that repetitive tone.
Amazing.
By the way, this is also a really good tool for determining that your shortwave radio is working correctly.
Because you always know 10,000 or 10 megahertz, 10,000 kilohertz.
As the time changes throughout the day, they have multiple frequencies they transmit on. So 2.5, 5, 10, and 15 are all different frequencies you can go to that will give this tone. We call that period of time between day and night where like you can literally watch the line. We call that the gray line.
Okay.
And magical things happen during the gray line where you can hear kind of further than you normally can, but then it starts to like fade out.
I saw a documentary where Dennis Quaid like traveled through time.
You gotta give me something I can believe. I'm not a cop. firefighter who's been dead for 30 years.
But how could it be?
Frequency.
Yeah.
Well, this tool won't be able to let you do that. But so go up to short-wave.info. And you can see this is actually the gray line that I was talking about right there.
What can happen before and after the gray line? So as this washes over the West Coast.
If you're in the sun, you need to be on the high side of the shortwave, so 15 megahertz and higher, up to 30.
Okay.
And then as it gets darker, you want to start to slide down. So it's a TV guide of radio, basically. This is showing that BBC right now is transmitting, and these are the frequencies that they're on, and it tells you where they're at. So there's a couple British stations, but you can go down this list and match it to time, and you will be able to pull up that frequency and listen to that station. We probably won't be able to hear it from Half Moon Bay in San Francisco, but we can try.
Let's try, and then if it doesn't work, then we could go somewhere else.
So we'll go to 9510. Oh, the Waterfall stops Hispanic, so you may have to refresh.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, there are people that are trying to get into this station.
You're taking a slot.
You're taking
when
a slot.
There.
Yeah,
Got
and
it.
popular servers like this one will kick you off.
Ooh. It does kind of sound almost like something's trying to come through, but.
Oh, there was something. But this is not a nice, enjoyable listening experience. So
correct.
You can go back to the short-wave, and we can see where that listing is at. Oh, see,
9510.
I don't know where.
Tashkent.
Tashkent.
Turkey, he said carefully. Let's go to Greece.
This is the throw in the dart at the map kind of thing.
It's got to be closer. Well, and again, if what you want is the experience of feeling like you're traveling, then this is what it would be like.
Yes. We may not have picked the right station, but there's definitely a signal there. So you have a proof of concept that it's working.
Quick question, on the Waterfall, these entire bands across, is that like a solar interference flash all across the spectrum, or is it local?
It could be local interference from an RFI generator. Okay. But interestingly enough, if you go back to what we were talking about earlier, how sun intensity of signals, right? The sun is now down.
Oh, that's right.
This area of the atmosphere is no longer energized.
Yeah.
So there's less signals that are propagated. But there's all kinds of activity over here, and the intensity of these red lines kind of gives you an idea. There's a lot going on. But they also give you kind of some guidance up here as well. These are frequency bookmarks. Okay. So now you're in the 31-meter broadcast space. Okay. Those are shortwave broadcast stations that you're listening to.
I assume that there are different neighborhoods.
That's right. The electromagnetic spectrum of all frequencies has pretty much been carved out and allocated almost like parking spaces for different services, military, amateur, and broadcast.
What determines how wide these wings are on the side? Like, would there be a benefit to me tightening this?
Maybe.
Ha! It depends. Well, and I assume it depends on how do you want it to sound, right?
If the station you're listening to is a high fidelity station that is transmitting very wide bandwidth, and you hear them really well, then you want to open up your receive bandwidth to be able to get all that information and the high fidelity of that signal. If this station, which we kind of hear, is kind of in the noise, we'd want to lower the bandwidth a little bit to see if we can hear it better.
I'm going to get rid of some of the sides.
That is one way to do it, yes. So, you know how they sound a little, like, muddier now?
Yeah.
You might be able to pick out some of the words better, but it's not really a nice listening experience.
Yeah.
You can say, that's fine, we'll leave this one alone, and just go to one that looks more intense, which is definitely 9.780 on that side.
Got it. So this is whatever...
You can click and drag, or you can just double click. I often just double click.
Oh.
See how it says BW7040?
Yes.
That's the bandwidth that you've pulled in.
Okay.
So you're at like 7,000 kilohertz bandwidth, which is pretty big. The biggest that most AM stations will go to is about 6,000.
This is great. So I had no sense of like how wide, how much territory they tend to do.
Hello, man. You got a solid 555.
So this is actually ham radio you're listening to.
Okay.
And thanks for checking in.
This is the Maritime Mobile Net. It is a 24-hour-a-day amateur radio net that holds the frequency for maritime transmissions of people in distress.
Oh. Why
And-
is somebody in distress? Is that what we're hearing?
No, but they're continuing to be active so that they could hold the frequency for people that may be in danger.
So, well, how would somebody in danger interrupt them?
They pause. They give time.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's a number of people with boats that have HF transmitters with an antenna running up a mast or something like that they can report if they need help or whatnot.
Wild.
So that you just happen to stumble into that one, but that's a good one. They're very active as well.
Okay. What is a classic haunted place to gawk at? Give me a tourist trap.
It's the Russian buzzer.
I've heard the words, the Russian buzzer.
Yeah. It's a frequency that is constantly being transmitted, but is really heard best at night.
This right here?
Oh, maybe? No, it's this guy, right?
Oh,
That's
it
what
is.
You're listening.
Okay, all right,
so
here.
unmute. Oh, it's definitely there. You can see it. See the little dips? Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
See how it says the buzzer right there?
Yeah.
Click
here.
on that and let's see what happens to the radio. Okay. Did you see what it did?
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Okay, so some human who made that bookmark realized that to hear it the clearest, you wanted to set the frequency to 4.625,
Yes.
but you wanted to set the part that you could hear up to the right. So
Yes.
this is the shortcut.
This is a fundamental change that you just did. You visually saw this change.
Yeah.
But you might not have missed that it went from AM to USB,
What is that?
upper sideband.
Okay.
One of the things that is very popular in the shortwave space is the mode of single sideband. AM is a carrier with two sidebands.
Yes.
So it can be as wide as 6K. Amateur radio operators, we use a mode called single sideband, where we omit the carrier and one of the sidebands.
And what is the benefit of doing that?
We generally get decent transmission capability and propagation without having to put a lot of power to provide a carrier and a second sideband. And the buzzer is only transmitting on the upper sideband.
Okay.
Staying on this frequency, if you click LSB, watch the green bar.
Okay. There we go.
And now it's gone.
Yeah.
So the Russian buzzer is this. It's a buzz. But it's been going for decades.
Is this a case of a computer-generated buzzing sound, or is this a case of something is physically buzzing and there's a microphone in the room?
We don't know.
All right.
And interestingly enough, at one point, the signal of the Russian buzzer moved from where it was at, because people have determined where it was transmitting from, and moved to a completely different location.
They triangulated it because, of
Yes.
course, you can do that.
Get close enough and you can figure it out.
Oh,
The
wow.
Wikipedia article on the Russian buzzer is an interesting read. People should go check that out if they haven't done that.
What do they think it is?
People have thought or speculated that it's a like reverse dead man switch kind of thing, where if the signal were to go away, then
That would be bad.
oh no.
Yeah.
Again, speculations abound. We don't really know. But what will occasionally happen is, in addition to the buzzer, it may cut off and then you'll hear like background talking, or there has sometimes been messages sent, like a number station traditionally, but those are really few and far between. It's mostly the buzz.
It's just a heartbeat, a beacon, basically.
Kind of, yeah. But there's also another website that I like to use. It's called HF Underground. That is a very traditional looking web forum, right?
Oh my God, it's 2007.
That's right, that's right. So what they do here is they report on interesting signals that they've heard. Specifically, these are signals that would be outside of like a published broadcast schedule.
Okay.
So the first one at the top, North American Shortwave Pirate.
Ooh, okay.
So there are a ton of people that are still out there doing pirate transmissions.
I don't know why I forgot that ham license ain't nothing but a piece of paper. There are some people that don't respect the rules.
Yeah, they will go through and give timestamps for when they segment off to other things.
That's great.
So if you watch this relatively religiously, you can track down a lot of some of these pirate stations. And these are people that'll just be running their own radio show. They'll come on the air and they'll do an introduction. This is pirate radio, and then play music and do whatever they want.
Let's find one.
We're in upper sideband, but there seems to be some data here. So what would we do in that case?
I would stupidly grab that wing and pull
Don't
it
do
down,
that.
but instead...
It's on both sides, though.
Yeah,
and this vertical line is the carrier. Include the other half and the carrier, it is...
I have no idea.
AM.
Oh. Okay. I feel dumb now. So AM is the whole package.
The whole package.
Okay, got it. So AM is the whole package.
Yeah.
SAM is what?
Synchronous.
Got it. And then DRM, I guess they're labels on
Digital Radio Mondale.
Okay.
Unrelated.
That sounds like Oh, that's very different.
So we are very wide bandwidth right now.
Yeah.
It's probably about 3K. So bring that into about right there. Oh, that'll work. And then do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
There's
Now-
definitely a station there.
Yeah, but it's wild because here, I'm gonna click on upper sideband, and it sounds...
They have a tonal quality change.
Yeah. And this is the pirate broadcast that we just saw referenced.
It could also be a legitimate actual broadcast.
That they were just broadcasting on the same spectrum because they're pirates. They
Yeah.
don't respect international
Yeah.
law.
So since you got another signal over here, why don't you pop over to 6925.
And then punch all the way in.
Oh yeah, now you're all the way punched in.
Oh, and it looks like the signal itself is actually...
And so you can even fine tune it more by double clicking over and...
How cool. Josh, I'm beginning to suspect that you could really lose a lot of hours just aimlessly wandering about the shortwave spectrum.
And this just scratches the surface because we've only really focused on AM, upper and lower sideband. If you click that little thing that says extensions, those are all the other types of modulation that this app will do.
Wow.
So this will do digital mode, it will do SSTV.
So we could actually see images? Is there a place we could find images?
You can normally better during the day. On this frequency things, click the drop down, and it's probably gonna be 7180 or 7171 because nighttime is where a lot of those frequencies will be. We are in the middle of the ham radio 40 meter band.
Okay.
SSTV, the space where that's allowed is the same space that voice is allowed.
Oh, okay.
And in amateur radio terms, whomever is using that frequency is the one who controls it for that amount of time. And we all just kind of have a, you were here first, I'm gonna let you do your thing, and I'll come back around.
Got it. But when you're done talking, I'm going to step in.
I'm gonna jump in.
To be honest, this is reminiscent of sort of the emergent rules of street performers, where it's like if somebody's in the middle of a performance, you don't kick them out.
Right. Even then, some people still get nasty. Like, this has been my frequency. My buddies get on here every day.
Also
for the last
reminiscent
30
of street performing rules.
Yes. Surprising how it's human nature in effect. But if someone were to transmit SSTV, which is like an image that slowly prints on the screen, this software will actually decode it, and you would see it up in this area.
Automatically.
Automatically, yeah.
Yeah, you want to try another spot, see if we can find one?
Well, instead of that, why don't we try Morse code?
Oh my God, this tool is amazing.
So I'm gonna give you a frequency, and I have a buddy who's on a mountain right now.
Oh my God, are we really going to hear from
We might be able to hear him.
Okay, there are some folks who are on a mountain who ain't never logged in and verified transmitting from this mountain, receiving from this mountain.
Yeah.
And when that happens, there are two names that get put into the magical golden logbook of ham radio
the first
heaven.
activators, yeah.
Right, exactly, the first activators, and that was them up on the mountain and you right here at Modern Rogue World
That's
headquarters.
right. From my antenna out in the back, I was keying out Morse code.
That's amazing.
So I think they're on 7062.
Okay.
Now I don't see them.
How many miles away are they? Can we say where?
They're in the Mojave.
In the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is not CW. That's a different mode of communication.
Okay.
That's called RIDI.
Man, this is suddenly getting very real now.
Yes. He is on 14058. Can you hear him? See?
Can we narrow in on that?
There you go. That's definitely a station. It's cold and we have radios. First activation.
That's so cool.
That is definitely Morse code right there.
All right.
he transmitted CQ, which is the ham radio way of saying, hey, I'm out here calling all people to come back to me. I seek you to come back.
Seek you. I never knew that's what. Okay. That's why it's called ICQ.
I don't know if those are related, but I remember ICQ.
It has to be. It has to be ICQ. Yeah.
Well, now he's fallen out. By the way, this is what happens a lot if you're trying to chase down. Oh, wait.
Well, I moved over to where I saw the action.
Wait. CQ?
CQ test.
CQ test. Now, it's not a perfect copy.
Yeah, think of like voice dictation software not being great, and if it's a muddled voice, it's going to do its best.
I can hook my computer up to my radio, and I can type, and then it will do computer-created Morse.
Non-zero possibility that this person is learning Morse code.
Right, and that's where I'm going with this, is if a computer is creating the Morse codes, the dits and dahs, then this decoder would work very well.
So this is definitely a human.
Likely.
Which, by the way, there's a fantastic book, The Victorian Internet, that talks about how people began to identify people's styles of speaking via Morse code.
They have a concept for knowing someone by the way they do their Morse code. It's called their fist. I know them through their fist. Yeah. A hand Morse code, hand-keyed Morse code, it's harder for decoders to decode it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that are contesting, like when they're competitive ham radioing, they'll use a computer to send the Morse code so that someone on the other end will use a decoder even as a backup, just to make sure that the contact is getting through.
So somebody effectively is doing a very, very good test. Congratulations.
They're doing a pretty good job, yeah. CQ test is coming across. I can hear the CQ and I can hear test.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a call sign. That was, K.
Oh, yeah.
It's in there somewhere. Just test is I'm testing out my radio. But CQ test is sometimes short for CQ contest.
Oh.
And I'm trying to make contacts in this contest. And that's likely what's happening here.
Man, this is fantastic. You and I both know this could go all night. And for you, it probably has gone all night.
It has.
Many times before. Where do you recommend people go next?
I would start with KiwiSDR and just poke around. Find a waterfall that looks like this. You want a big difference between the white noise that you were mentioning and then the signals. If it's all just like blacked out or redded out, then that means that there's probably a lot of interference on that station. So find something with a really good difference between the signals and then poke around. Like go in there and click on the buttons, figure it out. You can't break anything. It's somebody else's radio.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let you break it. So just play around, and if you get in a weird spot, refresh the page, bring it up. And then go to the sites we mentioned, Short-wave.info, HF Underground.
Yep.
And if you want a fun little thing for everybody watching, go to preom.org, and that is the number station listing.
Ooh.
So that's a fun little homework assignment. It's the TV guide for number stations.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so you can actually go and figure out what the upcoming number station is, go to a adjacent SDR in that location and listen to it.
And what if people just want more of that sweet, sweet Josh Nass?
You go to Ham Radio Crash Course on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and Instagram, and all the places.
I think there's like phases to going through strawberry.me. They have a quiz to match you with somebody that's particularly well suited to giving you insights. And then at the beginning, it's awkward because you got to explain all your hopes and dreams and what you're working towards. They do cognitive behavioral coaching. A lot of it is reflecting back to you what you say, setting your own expectations. To me, the real magic is after the first few weeks, they start to legit just expect greatness from you. And then once that tipping point happens, you just start over-delivering like... Did you know that we had our biggest release ever in the history of the channel?
Which video was that?
That was the Meshtastic video. Wait, maybe Josh Nass is the secret sauce. The point is, there's nothing better than having somebody expect greatness from you. And that's what I get out of strawberry.me. Don't take my word for it. Head on over to strawberry.me/rogue. You get 50% off your first session. And once they start prodding you, you'll start doing amazing things. Here, hold on. Call Ryer.
hello.
Ryer, we're doing another Strawberry.me ad. What's the latest thing that you did that you weren't gonna do if your Strawberry coach didn't force you to?
Yeah, I've been working a lot lately on how valuable my time is and how I can't just give and give and give, and it's really important to set boundaries.
Okay. Strawberry.me/rogue. And he's right.
This video is supported in part by viewers like you who went to patreon.com/modernrogue, where you can watch many of our videos in an unedited multicam form, or you can get your name in the credits like Alex Guillo, and George and Jules.